Okay, so this is a familiar face, right? You've seen her a lot as part of Project Control Academy. Shore is the founder and technical director of Project Control Academy. She founded the academy, and now our academy is the leading global provider of comprehensive online training programs in project controls. Shore has served tens of thousands of professionals to enhance their project controls knowledge and has helped them advance along their career path in project controls. In April 2018, AACE International Source Magazine featured Shore as Woman in Project Controls honoree. Today, Shore is going to talk about an interesting subject, and that's called T-shaped project controls professional. What future demands of project professionals? But what is T-shaped project professional? So I leave that to Shore. And Shore, welcome. She's here because she is part of the team. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. It's good to finally have a chance to present. It's going to be short, and I know so far we've been focusing so much on new tools, technologies, new ways of doing things. It has been an amazing day so far. I hope you have learned so much. But my focus for today's presentation is going to be on you. Yes, I'm talking to you. So I'm not going to talk about tools or anything. I'm just talking about you and how you can become a T-shaped project professional. So let me share my slides so we get started on this presentation. T-shaped. So I hope I have raised your curiosity a bit on the T-shape, and this is what I think the future demands of you. If you're in project controls or project management, doesn't matter, the same principle apply. But before going any further, I want to know your opinion. Are you a T-shaped project professional or an I-shaped project professional? Please type in the chat so I can see your opinion. Are you a T-shaped or an I-shaped? And while you're typing in the chat until I see your comment, I want to encourage each one of you to strive for moving from an I to a T. And as I said earlier, this is what really future demands of you, of each one of you. Because when you're a T-shaped project professional, you can do more, you can add more value to yourself, your organization, and the projects that you're serving. But you might think, come on, what the hell are you talking about? You've lost me. What is T-shape? What is I-shape? I have no clue what you're talking about. Are these terms something that you've made those up? No. If you have not heard of T-shaped project professional, and that's it, the first time you are hearing that, this is something, such a big deal in project management world. So hopefully you learned something out of today's session. And my goal for you is you leave this presentation knowing how you can really be such a value added T-shaped project professional. Cool? Okay, before I reveal what I mean by a T-shaped project professional, let me tell you what I'm going to cover in this quick presentation. So I'm going to, first of all, reveal the secret, if it's a secret for you, what it is, and then why I highly recommend that you should move to a T-shaped project professional and how you can become a T-shaped project professional. So that's a quick outline of today's presentation for you. Now, what is T-shaped? Okay, going back to the same question. What is T-shaped project professional? Any guesses on the chat? Let me see what you are talking about. So just type in the chat, what are your guesses about T-shaped project professionals? Before I go to the chat and see your comments, let me reveal what the I shape is, because I said I want to encourage you to move from an I to a T. Let's bring an example. Let's assume you are in planning scheduling and you have built years of experience in planning scheduling. You've learned the fundamentals, you've learned P6, you've learned the tools, you are now competent in what you are doing, you have advanced skills when it comes to planning schedulings, and you already got to the master and expert level. Basically, you have built your expertise in that topic. Does it describe you? And again, planning scheduling is just an example. You can have it as a cost and You just name it. So are you an I-shaped project professional? If you are, type in the chat. And I'm not sure, this is not refreshing, so I don't see your comments yet.
Lots of people say T-shape.
So there
Some
are,
people think T means team.
okay, some said T means team. Okay, great.
Some have no idea.
Some have no idea. That's great. So how many of you are really I? How many of you really build an expertise on a topic and you believe you are really an expert in your thing? If you're an I, just type in the chat, I'm an I-shaped project professional. Here you go. I see Faya, I, Nada, T. Okay, great. That's good. I haven't even revealed what T is, so it's great that you are just sharing that. So again, I-shape is an individual with an in-depth knowledge of a single subject or area, which is great. We need experts in our company because you are the problem solver. You are the one who knows the depth of the things and you can move things further. But I'm sorry to tell you, if that's all you have done, just focusing and narrowing down in one area, that's not enough. You have to really consider moving to a T-shape. And what is a T-shape? Going back to, again, let's say you're a planner scheduler, you have already built that down, but you also need to browse, kind of make your skill sets across all the other topics of project controls, just like a T. You have that deep dive knowledge in one area, plus kind of more general knowledge and skill sets in all other project control areas, from communication to leadership, which I hope by this point in this conference, you've learned how important it is, because every presenter was echoing that, to cost estimating, cost management, risk analysis, forensic analysis, contract management. Do you all know all of these topics? Do you really have a T-shaped project professional? If you are, again, type in the chat, I'm a T-shape and I'm honored to be a T-shaped project professional. So that's really what I meant by T-shape, to broaden your skill sets in different areas of project controls, which is not easy, but that's really what future demands of each one of you. And I'm going to prove you why. So why I'm saying, like, I is really good being an expert in one topic. And I'll also, before I move on to the benefit, there are some other individuals who are neither I nor T. Let's go back to that. They are that top part. They jump from one point to another. They just build some knowledge and skills and then move to another. They don't go deep dive into one subject area. So I call them dash, or let's say generalist type people. So I hope you are, again, those people are great. They can make the job done, but they are not expert. They are the expert of none, but they know a little bit of everything. So that's the third type of people. So are you a dash, T, or I? Type in the chat box. So that's really what we are encouraging you to do. But why really I'm saying future holds for those who are really T-shaped and have a broad knowledge on all topics of project controls. So first of all, as you know, project control is, all the areas are highly integrated. I know integration is a challenge. We've already talked about that a lot in every presentation. And I believe one of the challenges beside the tools and technology to make that integration is us. Perhaps we don't have the right skill sets to create that integration. We don't know really how to integrate cost with the schedule, how to integrate risk with our schedule and cost, and the list goes on and on. So these are different areas in project controls, and I show them as gears because they're highly integrated. Let's give you an example. So let's say we have a delay in the project. The delay will have a consequent cost impact, right? The risk that you are having, if you don't consider the risk, it will have a consequent impact on your schedule and cost. Your cost estimate, making the basis for the rest of the project controls that you are doing. So everything is highly integrated. But what we see in organization, different silos, right? Different people doing different things and not really having someone who has the expertise and knowledge in all of them. But to be an effective project control professional, the integration starts with you, not with the tool, not with the technology. Yes, that will help you, but with you and increasing your knowledge in different aspects of project controls. Because when you have the holistic view of different elements when it comes to project controls, you can better manage the projects to the right direction, and you really know what's causing the issues. Going back to our planning scheduling example, let's say you are an expert in the field, you have already developed a great schedule which you are really proud of. But at the end of the day, your schedule ends late, months late. And when people assess, they realize that there were kind of some risks that you forgot to consider. You didn't run any quantitative risk analysis on your schedule. So there's no wonder that those dates were quite aggressive. So you see, just everything kind of connects together and highly integrated. And I believe, I wish everyone, especially those of you who are leaders in the organization, focus on helping your team to grow on different fields of project controls, not just on one silo area. I remember early on when I was in project controls, one of the companies that I worked at had an initiative, they called it rotation. Every 30 days, someone should be, let's say if I was a planner scheduler, after 30 days, I was taking the role of the cost control and he was taking the role that I was doing. So we were kind of rotating so that each person in project controls had the knowledge on all the areas. And that was the only company from all the companies that I've experienced working at. And that was a great experience that gave me the exposure to other areas in project controls and helped me understand the integral part of this integration and this knowledge share and understanding and holistic view. So again, I feel that's an issue with organizations that focus on building I-shaped project professionals, building silos, and not really cross-training their employees on different topics and different ways that projects are operating. So that's the first reason why we really need to focus on I-shape. And imagine if you have different T-shaped project professionals in your team and how things can move ahead faster. Another reason why really focusing on expanding your skill sets is very important is because future really moves toward seamless integration, real-time data gathering, and predictive analytics. You have already seen presentations on those, like Giancarlo showed you some kind of seamless integration and automation that you can create with Power BI. We already saw a lot of, and you are going to see throughout this summit, different tools and strategies that can help you move toward that. The future is going through this predictive analytics, real time, and integration. So all the integration has been a challenge. You just saw Julia's fantastic presentation with just a simple tool with the Primavera Unifier, how you can easily create integration. So those of you who know different facets of project controls, those of you are going to win this when it comes to predictive analytics, when it comes to integration, when you are given a report where it has cost, risk, different elements of the project. If you don't know other facets, no matter how fancy your tools are, you're not going to be able to manage that. So that's really important, especially for the future. Those who knows all the facets in project controls will be ahead. So if you have been really narrowing down in just one area and have not yet challenged yourself to move to other areas of project controls, I hope by the end of this presentation, you kind of encouraged to consider that. So these are the two big reasons I believe really you need to consider moving to a T-shaped project professional. So, but how you can do that? So I hope I have convinced you so far that it's really important to move toward a T-shaped project professional, but how is it even possible? So any comments, anyone wants to kind of jot down some notes so I can see what do you think. So I have, again, I have my own opinion and I respect everyone, whatever you think, how we can move toward that. So the first thing that I recommend to move to a T-shaped project professional is start with the basics. Expand your knowledge in various fields of project control. So that's really the starting point. Figure out really what areas you need to further expand on and get trained on that. that's really a very good way of doing it with the training. So, and going back to different fields of project controls that I already talked about, I'm glad to tell you at Project Control Academy, we've been focusing on developing training programs on different topics. As you can see, these are the courses that we have developed under each of those topics, and we keep expanding, we keep exploring, and we keep adding more resources for you. So from communication leadership to all the way to forensic analysis, you can find training. So if you are really considering expanding your knowledge and moving to a T-shape, you may consider some of the trainings that we are providing. And the good news I have for you is right now we have all of those at a special summit discount that you can get them at a huge discount. So again, if anyone is interested, we have this promotion going on during the summit. So you're more than welcome to consider those. There are really deep dive applied training that by the end of each training, you will know how to do these things. So we really encourage you, if that's something that you're interested, to consider that. So I would like also to share a success story from one of our students, Lisa, who's a really true example of a T-shaped project professional. She has been in the construction management industry for 35 years, and of course the project and program management as well. And regardless of the years of experience that she had, I think she literally got every training that we offer at Project Control Academy. And these are her feedback from some of the courses that she took. For example, on forensics, she said, that was the best education I received after decades. Or she got through the quantitative risk analysis training that we had, and she said, that's mandatory for all PMs that they need to take that training. And guess what? Now, because she has expanded her knowledge and skill sets in different areas, and she's such a keen learner, I hope she doesn't mind I'm sharing this with the audience. She's also going to speak at the summit, and we haven't invited her. Some other experts have invited her to speak at the panel. So she's going to share her knowledge and expertise on the planning scheduling panel. So to me, she's a true success story of someone whom has really moved toward from an I to a T. And that's really what we are encouraging every one of you to consider that. And that starts with knowledge and expanding your knowledge and understanding on different topics when it comes to project controls. The next thing that you can do is asking yourself, what am I great at? And what do I want to be known for? Again, let me repeat that. What am I great at? And what do I want to be an expert in? Because we want to build the foundation of our T strong. It's not just broadening our knowledge, but also building an expertise in the area that we want to be known for, right? The T needs to have a foundation, has to have a strong foundation. Believe it or not, the answer to this question changed the whole path in my career. If I didn't ask this question from myself 15 years ago, I wouldn't have been where I am today. Some of you might know my story, but I was involved in an accident at a workplace that made me question everything about life and work, and all the consequences that happened after that accident made me kind of it was an aha moment and turning point in my life that I thought, who do you want to be sure? What impact do you want to have on other people? Where do you want to be, and how do you want people to know you? So I came back to this question, which I got from a conference I attended. I told you I invested in a lot of trainings myself too. So, and I kept asking that question, okay, what you are good at and what do you want to be an expert in? I got two answers. Every time I asked this question, two answers came to my mind. Project controls, because I've already built an experience on that area for a decade or so at that time, and teaching and training through Toastmasters because I've learned how to communicate effectively. So, and also I felt the need in our industry that I struggled a lot. There was no training out there. So I thought, what if you can just use these two skill sets and share your knowledge and teach? So that's really how my humble beginning was. So we established Project Control Academy almost 10 years ago. And now fast forward, we are the leading global provider of online training programs in project controls. And as you see in the summit, it's now happened to be the largest virtual conference and expo. It all started with that single question: who do you want to be? What do you want to be known for? And what legacy you want to leave? So what is the answer to this question for you? So if the answer is related to your technical expertise and you want to build your technical expertise, here are something that I highly recommend. Again, don't discount training. No matter how many years of experience you have, make sure that you invest yourself. God knows how many conferences I attended, not just on the technical, on personal development too. So first, invest in the training. Second, share your knowledge. When you start sharing your knowledge, that's where you are learning that how little you know, and that's how you can serve. Share your knowledge, present at conferences, just be brave enough. We saw this morning many were fear of public speaking or presenting. So perhaps that would be a good starting point. And I know many of you, around 40% of our audience, are really senior project professionals and project managers in the audience. So perhaps mentoring and helping other people as well. Find your path and leave a legacy and help other people to follow your footsteps. That's really what can help you. And of course, if you are, let's say, going back to our example, planning scheduling, if you're in planning scheduling and you want to really be an expert, you want to be an I before getting to an T, but although we are recommending to start becoming a T as early as possible. Let's say as a planner scheduler, you already learned Primavera, you know the basics of planning, you know the fundamentals of CPM scheduling. Now perhaps learn how you can integrate cost with your schedule, or learn forensic delay analysis, or learn 4D, or you just saw in the presentation that you can use Power BI to extract some powerful dashboard from your schedule. So just go deep, dive into your topic and be a master in whatever you do, and then also expand your skill sets, and the earlier that you can become a T, the better would be. So the final step, or the final question that you need to ask yourself is, okay, now what am I not competent at? Which area now I need to more improve on? You already build your skill sets, you know what people know you for, but now these are the areas that you need to focus on to expand, to move to a T shape. So what facets of project controls you are not competent at? So that's another question that you need to figure out and try to expanding that. Let's say you are in planning scheduling, you don't know much about cost estimating, or you don't know much about cost management. Perhaps that's the time to start expanding your skill sets on those areas. And again, if you need any training, we will be happy to support you. So in conclusion, becoming a T-shaped project professionals is one of the most valuable things that I believe you need to consider for your professional development. And I hope if that's only one thing you're going to get out of this conference is really expanding your skill sets. One of the reasons we didn't announce the exact timing of each presentation, so you're exposed to different topics and learn from different speakers. So hopefully you move toward the T-shaped project professionals. It really make you go ahead of the game if you are really focusing on that. And the last point I have is, and in your journey to becoming a T-shape, if you need a hand, we will be happy to help you at Project Control Academy. So that's all I had to share with you. So let me go quickly over if there is any question. Let me see if there is any question. So a question by Abdullah, could you please advise how you are treating value engineering? Project control professionals should be aware of value engineering methodology. Yes, of course. Again, Abdullah, anything that can help you be better at what you do would be great. As far as I know, when I was in project controls, we were not that much exposed to value engineering. It was reserved for our engineers and our, I don't know. But if you can really broaden your knowledge and skill sets in different areas, why not? So anything that can help you be better at what you do, definitely, that's really highly encouraged. So another question is, how about understanding the industry and scope of work of a particular discipline, for example, construction, energy? I have found this to be challenging industry. Very good point, actually. So, yes, some of the things, I think one of the things that stop us from moving on to different industries is that, okay, I've already built my expertise and skill set in, let's say, oil and gas. Now I cannot move to mining or another industry. It's going to be hard. No, and based on the interviews that we have done with many thought leaders, they all echo the same thing. And you're going to learn that in our career development panel discussion as well, where one of our panelists is going to focus on this topic. No matter what industry you're working, I believe what you are learning and doing at Project Controls is universal and can be applied to any other industry. Yes, it might take some time at the beginning to adopt and understand the process, especially if you're in planning, scheduling, to make sure that you know the sequence of work and every other detail. But just the first few months, if you're really keen on learning and learning the industry, it's not going to stop you. I myself moved from manufacturing to oil and gas, two complete different industries. So what I did, I went and got a course on oil and gas, understanding the industry better, understanding how things work, so I can do my job better. So just the industry knowledge, yes, very important, but it's not impossible, especially for those who are switching to different industries. Really, that's something that you can consider. How much time I have? 1 more minute? Can I go one more question? Okay, one more question. With the question by Sonam, does T-shaped project professional mean specialized is not required in project controls? Very good question, Sonam. No, we said from moving from I to a T, I is already highly specialized project professional. But what I'm saying, don't stay in just your field. I have seen people who have been, let's say, doing planning, scheduling, going all the way to department management and stay there. So they haven't even experienced other fields, or they haven't expanded their knowledge or skill sets in other areas. You first need to, not just first, I shouldn't say first, you have to be a T-shape right off the bat, trying to, as you're building your eye, as you're building your foundation and understanding on the topic, also make sure that you are broadening your skill sets on different areas. And if you see our industry thought leaders, for example, Chris Carson, John Holman, they are not just one T, they are double T, triple T, because now as they're expanding their knowledge, they go deep dive into that. Expanding the knowledge in another area, deep dive into that. So that's really an ultimate goal, to be multiple T-shaped. But the whole intent is just to make sure that you are expanding your knowledge and skill set. Sorry, our team is saying, just stop, your time is up. I think our time is up. So I will pass it on to Kamran to start the next set of... Oh, okay, we have a break. Okay, so we have a 15 minutes break. So let's, I think we're gonna have a video or something. So watch the video or go grab something and take some rest. We're going to have more fantastic presentation coming your way. Right after this, we're gonna have a panel discussion that you don't wanna miss. So see you in 15 minutes, everyone.